What's up, everybody? It is the 19th of July, 2025, and it is Identify Different, hashtag 1850. And because it is raining where I am, and the reflection is going in and out, it's lighting up, it's going down. So just bear with it. However, it is the Oracle of Elohim speaking. And while I was visiting the library um, today, I don't know why the Lack family is on my mind, but it is. And I don't, mean any disrespect to anyone, but it just boggles my mind a little bit um, as to one, why was Elsie Lack so profound and mentioned so many times, but yet her her appearance is only on a picture. At least that's all that is being shown over the internet. Now, if some of the family members have something else, or a friend of the family has something else, then that's something different. But I'm just speaking when as I'm doing my research um, about this family and this beautiful little girl on this picture that they said had idiocy, idiocy, idiocy. Really? My goodness. It almost sounds like what this family is trying to say about me. Um, but I know you can't go by looks, but if you look at the picture of Elsie, there's two that I've seen when I'm looking on the internet. One where she looks like she's younger and she is sitting with her legs stretched out in a little green and white dress. And then the other pictures where she's standing up, and neither of those pictures look like there's anything disturbing going on with that young lady's mind or behaviors. Now, not sure what was going on with Miss Henrietta Lacks at the time, which also I want to bring to y'all attention. You know, her original name, I guess, was Loretta Pleasant. Hmm. Based on my situation, I know how easily it was made to become for people to insert themselves on paperwork and to remove my name. So I'm not sure what was going on back then with her. Why all of a sudden, when she became ill, or when it was her name changed. If you understand what I am trying to convey, right? Um, now Elsie, I think her first name was Lucille Elsie Lax, right? Um, 1939. I can't. I don't know what that goes to, but anyway. Now the Tuskegee syphilis disaster by way of the government. Um, they put in the Tuskegee syphilis study. It was a disaster. You let those men go out and infect their wives. And unfortunately, it is my opinion that it is also what happened to Mrs. Henrietta Lacks. And then when I type in and I say, what, when Miss Henrietta Lacks was diagnosed, or her husband David Day supposedly had syphilis, and that's how little beautiful Elsie got idiocy. Somebody else is an idiot. But anyway, what a terrible word to describe. I believe it's called mongoloidism. Um, Back in the day, instead of saying retardation, but the melanated skin, I don't know, the idiocy, that's sound very brute for a little beautiful child that didn't look like she was having any problems, except maybe family members, perhaps. But anyway, let me continue. Uh, Now the Tuskegee syphilis study, that's how they put it, government FUCK study. Oh, let me see. FUCK UP study was between 1932 and 1972. Now, Miss Henrietta Lacks, I think it says she passed away in 1951, or was that when she was diagnosed? It's not clear to me because I put it in there two different ways, and for each way, it came up 1951, where she died or she was first diagnosed with the cancer of her cervix. Anyway, in lieu of saying that David Lax, quote unquote, had syphilis. The Tuskegee syphilis study was between the years of 1932 and 1972. That they allowed these men to go home and bed their wives, or if they were homosexuals, they're laying down with people. These people are going to lay down with other people. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Was it a conspiracy? Like with Elsie. Out of all 5 children, Elsie is the main character of the children that they choose to focus in on. And then I think about my situation. If I was switched at birth and then they wanted somebody else to be me, and then, y'all changed your paperwork, my God, back in those days, 1930 something, was it not slavery then? I think it was. And if y'all was doing y'all own thing, and you demonic little warlocks and witches just want to say, oh, well, let's put this date on the birth certificate. But anyway, I'm just examining this situation, because to me it is a situation, and you can't really go by. And I know Mrs. School, who did the legacy, like I'd be trying to figure out when people pass away and they don't have another loved one to speak up for them. A lot of people like to insert themselves as the spokesman, and I'm not saying that her work isn't good work, but I'm trying to really dig into the legitimacy of legal documentation or right documentations, time, dates, authentic documentations of things. And then when I put in there, do you think that David Lax became ill with syphilis with the Tuskegee syphilis study? Because as I recall, it was like they were intentionally infected and it was not corrected. They were not given medication to correct it. They were just given it to go out and just spread it. Like, did you tell these people don't have sex encounters? No, you didn't. So therefore, I don't know what kind of relationship Henrietta Lacks and them had. And maybe he, was tipping and dipping, because a lot of them probably did do that back in the day, because they do it now today. And if, I don't know how you date your cousin, but okay, it is what it is until it ain't. But anyway, that was just on my mind because that just bothers me not to associate that experiment on how she got her HPV possibly because it does fit into those years of the study. And I don't know why it took that many years to not give those men, call them back in and fix it. But anyway, I digress. It just seemed to me like something with her situation and the Tuskegee situation is a direct attachment. It is affiliated. It is associated. I just feel like that in my spirit. And then with Elsie, I don't believe she had anything wrong with her because it says she had congenital syphilis, but yet she lasted until she was, quote unquote, they said she passed away when she was 16. And then I see a tombstone when I Google it, and I see a picture of her, Elsie, and I see the 4 other siblings, I guess it was. But we all know that all of them have deceased now. But do they have children? And there's roots here in Maryland and Virginia, and maybe that's why I get all these stares, because as I was looking this stuff up, I had the librarian coming around me, standing close to me trying to see what I'm looking up. I had a lady in front of me who was on her computer coughing and stuff. So I'm like, okay, am I onto something? Am I looking at something that they don't want me to look at? Is there something to this situation? Is there falsified documents? And, like y'all are into life insurance fraud, Elsie could very well still be here. Right? Possibly. I don't know. Because, if Henrietta husband, David, passed away, I think they said in 2002. Who knows, right? The mother passed away before Elsie. And maybe David could not handle Elsie, or maybe David was a little bit wicked. Or maybe he was out of his mind, like Rabbit, out of his mind, because, syphilis can do something to the mind. But he lasted a long time, so he must have, when he got that issue fixed or something, because he was in his 80s when he passed, I think. Close to it. And then who is this Margaret and her children? Maybe it's her children that are around here, doing some things. And everybody looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm looking at something that's, history, right? But I don't know, is it my history? Because I don't know. If my family said I was supposed to be deceased and I was stolen from somewhere, and my birth date is not my birth date, and I'm just saying. And then people living off my back, my fortune, my ancestral, and here I'm just, I'm just trying to overstand some things around here. Because, I don't know. Anyway, that was just on my mind. Just something on my mind, because that's crazy for them to not associate her HPV. But like we know, it took a long time for them to even admit that they were using her cells to run studies on and heal people behind her back and not heal her while she was in the hospital needing their help with her cancer, or if she even had cancer, who knows, back in those days, were they properly diagnosing a melanated woman? right? But they seen something very fascinating about her, as I am fascinating to some. But I decree and declare, I want my justice. Whatever it is, I want to know my truth. I want it to come to me. Whatever it is, this family dynamic has done, or these people around here that I truly do not recognize or know, but I know that there's something going on because of the um, uh, energy that they exude when I'm minding my business on a library computer looking at stuff, but you're getting upset about something that was my business and not yours. See what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, with all this rewriting documentation, hiding this secret, that secret, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, we know, like the Creator said, there is nothing done under the sun that shall not come to the light. How you doing? Light, thank you. Yeah, there's nothing done under the sun, under the moon, under the stars that shall not be revealed. Period. And if I'm hitting the spot, touching the spot, this theft, this wanting to not include me into something that I am the main character, the main event, the ancestors are infuriated. And I don't believe any of you right now are enjoying the pennies or the monies that you stole. And they say, the ancestors are saying you won't. And I concur with them. Keep going, ancestors. Because this is insidious, to say the least. But anyway, I digress. Because this is going to get taken care of. Yeah, it's going to get taken care of. Whatever this lie y'all have concocted and wanted somebody else to be me instead of me be me, you are a liar. You are all ruthless people. And yet, I shall forgive you. However, right now, my first name is Prosecution. And then my second name is whatever it is originally on my original birth certificate. And then thirdly, my name is Jennifer, the one that I am familiar with, the one that you gave me from the lies you're trying to harbor and hide. So anyway, may the ancestors recover it all for me. Because this is crazy as I think about it. I mean, how could we escape that fact that if, in fact, you said what you said about David having syphilis, Elsie becoming infected from the mother's womb, are you implying that Henrietta was cheating, or did it come from Mr. David Day? And was he a part of the Tuskegee experiment, or did he run into some of the people that these people were parlaying with and became a casualty of this study? See, so a lot of questions. That's why I say history is important. You can't escape it. You can't try to erase it because it keeps coming up when you don't fix stuff. Who was it? Ida B. Wells something about justice. If you don't fix if you don't give justice, there's no peace. It will not rest until it is justified. So whatever lie my family dynamic is trying to conceal, you are not going to get any rest. Because it is that time that it has come to the earth. It has come to the main character's intuition. It has come to me. Others know about it. So therefore, this situation is not going to rest until there's some justice. Period. And Ida B. Wells, I'm going to have to look you up, but I know I seen that in that museum, and it was something about justice. And forgive me for messing